What's up, you guys? Nova here. So I had named my readings by Nova, but that is so boring. So I'm gonna now rename them Red Light Readings by Nova. I like that. It's my little red light therapy lamp over there in the corner of my studio. I love that thing. It's very soothing. Uh, okay, so all right. Sorry, I lost track. There's a lot going on up there. You know what I mean? I'm a Virgo, so there's lots going on up there. Anyway, you guys, how are my little red hots? Ooh, there it is. Because I was like, when you look at other readers, everybody has like a name for their tribe or whatever. So I'm going to call you guys the red hots because you're red hot with me, baby. We red hot chili peppers over here. I love chili. I love it. I do. I love hot stuff. All right, so I have my own deck. It's called The Feels, the Oracle Fairy deck. And then I also read from, so that's what the Feels looks like. I designed that myself. And then I like to read from Harmony Heart. All right, so let's get started. All right, The Pull. First card out. That's from my deck. Decisions. I'm just going to pull four. Memories, memories and decisions, the pull, and then clarity. All right, so that's a good place to start. Okay, so the pull. Yes, you are passionately drawn to them. Ask yourself why. Okay. Clarity makes sense. Do you feel clear on how this person feels about you and where you're headed? Okay. Memories. You may be dwelling too much on past memories, missing out on the present and future opportunities for love. Okay, I'm kind of seeing where this is going. And decisions. You are at a critical decision point in your life. Making a clear and confident choice will lead to positive outcomes. All right, so the pull. A lot of times people feel like, oh, I feel so much with this person. It's just like they're just pulling me in. It's like all this, all these dramatic feelings, right? And those are not always the best feelings. In fact, I've learned over time that they say those are not the best relationships to have because that feeling cannot be sustained. A lot of times that pull like that comes in passionately and hot and heavy. It's because there's a lesson in there. That means a tower moment's probably wrapped up in there somewhere because your head is going to be on a tailspin. You're going to get all discombobulated with this person and be like, oh my God, it's my soulmate, it's my person, when it really is just your lesson. So you need to get clarity when it comes to people that you're attracted to, but you need to slow yourself down. Those are the decisions that you need to make. Like, okay, how do I want to handle this? Like, do people even like approach relationships or relations or dealing with other people? Do they even approach them from a place of, let me think about how I want to approach this first? You know, you are at a critical decision point in your life. Maybe you're trying to think of whether you even want to be with the person or not. Maybe that's your critical decision, you know? Or maybe you're trying to decide, is this worth it? Is the pull real? Are the feelings real? Only time will tell. And it's weird because people are like, oh, only time will tell. And then they're like, oh, but time doesn't exist. But we know something has to go by because I'm clearly not a baby anymore. So some time went by. Whatever that looks like or however we count it, it is what it is, right? Memories. You may be dwelling too much on past memories. So a lot of times we walk into new relationships and we're still dwelling on the ones in the past. That person back there that pissed you off, that hurt you, that gaslit you. I will say this. I am actually pretty good about approaching a relationship from how that person makes me feel, like the person that I'm in it with. Like, I'm aware of certain things that I've been through before, but I don't jump into relationship after relationship like the monkey on the vine syndrome. You've heard that before, where it's like they're in the jungle and they're grabbing on this branch, but they won't grab this branch. I mean, they won't let go of that branch until they get a hold of another one. People who go from relationship to relationship, there's no time to think things through. There's no time to heal, to create a plan for your next relationship, whether it's 11 days or I should hope not 11 years or 10 years or whatever. You have to prepare yourself for a relationship just like you do an interview. And I don't think people do that. I think people just are like, oh, I'm out of this one. Time to go get another one. You know, time to go get another relationship. It's not that easy. Okay. Ooh. Authenticity is showing up as exactly who you are, whether the world gets you or not. Dare yourself to be your absolute self. So they don't necessarily have to be related to all the other cards, but it's something there that somebody feels like, maybe you don't feel comfortable being yourself. Maybe someone has made fun of you in the past. Maybe you have a past memory of people not receiving you, you know, not receiving you well when you were being yourself. Transparency. Open and honest communication builds deep trust in your relationships. Transparency strengthens your connections and prevents misunderstandings. Don't I know it? The messed up thing is like you could be hella transparent, but your person may not be. The person that you're dealing with may not be transparent. That's where you have to do that inner work, because you really can't tell a lot of times. You don't know what anyone's holding back because you don't know what's there. So if you can't tell when someone's holding something back, that's because your discernment needs work. Because you should be able to feel that in your gut. Like, you know how sometimes I'm sure you've dated somebody and you're like, something feels off. I don't know. This person, when I'm around them, I don't feel good. I don't feel secure. And don't put all the blame on somebody else. Make sure you take responsibility for yourself, because it's not always somebody else. Sometimes, or it's not always just someone else. It's also you. Okay, you have to do the work. But do you show up as you, whether the world gets you or not? Do you show up as you in a relationship, in a new relationship especially? Do you show up with a representative? Because people are like, oh, and this guys do this a lot. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm stricken from the record. People will show up with their representative, and then in 3 months or 6 months, some of them are really good and they can go 6 months, and you're like, ew, like, that ain't who you were. If you don't show up as yourself, you don't like yourself. You don't like yourself very much. And why would you ever date someone who doesn't like themselves? Slow down and pay attention, because people will show you the signs. They will. Healing is not as hard as Healing is not as hard as you think. Start with forgiveness and grace, because you need it too. So important. This is so important before you start something new. Have you forgiven yourself from what you just went through? Have you forgiven that other person? Because if you have not forgiven the other person and you're starting something new, you're going to carry it over. That's the issues that so many people are running into, because there's a lot of people who just can't be alone for 5 minutes. Again, that means you don't like yourself. If you don't want to be alone with you, why would I want to be alone with you? Think about that. Because just because somebody looks good doesn't mean that everything else about them stacks up, honey. I have been there where I'm just like, oh, he's so this, he's so that. You're all caught up in the looks and all that, the feels. And that's all BS, because that person might not even be healed. People are like, what's your 5-year plan? Who cares? Are you healed? That's the question you should be asking someone new. Are you healed? And what was your relationship like with your parent, the opposite parent? Like if that's a man that you're dating, you want to know his relationship with his mom. If it's a female you're dating, you want to know her relationship with her dad. If she didn't have a relationship with her dad, she could chase validation a lot. Like she wants approval. She wants, because I went through that. I went through that stage. And I say stage because I'm not there anymore. I don't need rarely anything from a man, especially not his approval. Because I've done so much inner work that I approve me. My name is Stella, and I approve this message. So anyway,